Seems a shame to let it go to waste. But if you don't even have to ask. Well, you have to ask Sophie, but I'm good. Actually, it's kind of perfect that your wedding's on me. After all, you two would have gotten together a long time ago if I hadn't screwed things up for you. Sophie might have dated him for a couple of months that long ago summer, but it had always been his cousin she wanted. He didn't blame her. Back then, Liam had been the better man. Maybe Bethany was Michael's karmic retribution. He'd screwed up a lot of things that summer, including the life of Shay Angel, the girl he'd fallen in love with while he was dating Sophie. Shay had been the one who got away, the girl who'd broken his heart. He had a feeling she wouldn't see it the same way. If he had any doubts, they'd been laid to rest Thanksgiving weekend. He'd been at the Salty Dog, her Uncle Charlie's bar. It was the first time Michael had seen her in 8 years. She looked right through him, like he didn't exist. Come on, Mike, that was a long time ago. You didn't know I was in love with Soph. If I'd told... I was a jerk back then, Liam. You know it and I know it. So I can't say I would have done the right thing. But I can now. The wedding's as good as paid for. I've canceled my credit and debit cards so Bethany can't totally wipe me out. Sophie and the staff work their asses off catering to her. It's the least I can do. He stood up and dusted the snow from his black dress coat. Go ask your girl to marry you. Where are you going? To the bar, to get drunk. Liam scratched his chin. Which bar? Salty Dog. I'm walking, and it's closest to the manor. The closest bar would be in the manor. Never took you for a masochist, buddy. After tonight, do you really want to put yourself in the crosshairs of Charlie and Shay Angel? Maybe he was a masochist. Or maybe he wanted to wipe out his karmic debt so he didn't have another Bethany come into his life and take another gigantic bite out of his ass. And the one way he knew how to do that was to find a way to make up for the 5 years Shay had lost because of him. If nothing else, he needed her forgiveness. Michael stood beside a 20-foot replica of a sailboat mast decorated with red and green Christmas lights, a fiberglass bulldog standing guard in the crow's nest above. He glanced in the half-fogged window framed with gold garland. The bulldog could have been a stand-in for the Salty Dog's owner, who just happened to be manning the bar tonight with a woman. Even with her back to him, Michael knew it was Shay. He'd recognize that thick fall of inky black hair and the curves of her long, lithe body anywhere. He didn't know why he'd expected to catch a break tonight of all nights. The last time he'd been here, Liam had snuck him in through a side door. If Charlie Angel had seen him that night, he would have run Michael out of the bar at the end of a shotgun. The old man blamed him for Shay's 5-year stint in prison for grand theft auto. It didn't matter that she'd stolen Michael's Corvette and broken his heart. In Charlie's eyes, he was the thief who'd robbed him of his niece. Michael blamed the old man as much as he blamed himself. Like Fagin and Oliver Twist, Charlie Angel had set his niece on a life of crime. Maybe Liam had been right after all. On top of everything else, Michael didn't need to deal with Charlie Angel, too. Michael went to walk away at the same time a gust of wind caught the edge of the mast. The wood frame creaked and moaned. There was a loud pop, and then another. Sparks from the exploding Christmas lights rained down on his head. As he brushed them from his hair and coat, he noted the men bellied up to the bar looking at him through the window. He knew the moment Charlie Angel spotted him, the old man's inventive curses mingled with the Christmas carols that filtered from the bar. Less than 2 seconds later, Michael found himself staring down the wrong end of a double-barrel shotgun. He ducked, moving to press his back against the brick below the window. Between Bethany and the old man, he was done. He wasn't going to take it anymore. He could find another whipping boy. "You crazy son of a bitch! Put the gun away before I call the cops!" Michael yelled, and held up his phone. Boom! The building rocked against his back, and glass shattered over and around him, the tips of his fingers burning as the phone was blasted from his hand. "Damn it, Charlie! Do you know how much it's going to cost to replace that window? Ben, see if we have any plywood at the back." "Okay, good. Appreciate it," he heard a familiar feminine voice say over the beeping car alarms and "We wish you a Merry Christmas." Her voice was as sultry as Michael remembered. It used to turn him on, but right now it ticked him off. Her uncle had nearly blown off his hand, and all she could think about was replacing the window. Are you freaking kidding?